2020, what year has it been? Yes, 20 flippin' 20. How can this get any worse? It's gonna be ridiculous. So, unfortunately, I haven't done much videos, and I thought this one would be the best opportunity to do so, as I had a few issues with a few people that I respect and care for. So much so that I can easily say, just be aware of these people. Now, firstly, I will be extremely careful about this. Another thing as well is this is not supposed to be made for drama purposes, as seriously, drama is the one thing I despise in any sort of community, no matter what it is, from YouTube to furry fandom to games, God knows what, just no drama on this. This is seriously something that's happened to me personally, and if you don't really understand where I'm coming from with this, just don't start shit, and don't approach these guys like they're Hitler or something. Don't do that. Seriously, don't. So, as you heard from the scene from the title below, obviously it's going to be two stories about something that's happened to me with two friends that I've respected a lot. So much so that I've actually done fan art. Well, not fan art, but artwork of their characters. Now, I must add as well as this one is going to be kind of, the first one is going to be kind of old, and I don't know what's happened in between, here and now, there and now, basically, so let's be real, it's gonna change, of course, and this has happened before. The recent one, this has actually happened a few weeks ago, and I'm kind of well, not upset, but you know what I mean. Just enough to snap my motivation a little bit. So, first one, I'm going to talk about a YouTuber that I used to collaborate with a long time ago in 2017 to 2018. Yes, I am actually, unfortunately, talking about Darth Bikini Fox. Now, I must add, he's such a nice lad. So much great work. He does good artwork for his characters, for my character. He did great artwork with other people as well as. And I must really add, he's generally a nice lad. There's one or two cases though where he can be a little bit off-balanced. Now, firstly, again, I respect the lad. He's a nice guy. I would happily hang out with him more often if this hasn't happened, but unfortunately, this has happened. Basically, first time this has happened, he was talking about how I'm not quote-unquote normal. And it's a little bit childish, but that's literally what he said. He said that apparently I wasn't really that normal, to the point where literally he actually questioned my sexuality and why did I became gay. I told him it was because I had met someone that I actually fell in love with, and he forced that this person has forced his sexuality towards me. No, I just didn't admit that I was gay. Another thing as well as, and this is the first thing, this is not the only time this has happened before. This is actually the second time this has happened. The first time this has happened was when I was hanging out with some other people aside from Dark. Now, I'm sorry to say about this, but you can't have a dictator being a friend, and literally Dark is unfortunately a dictator. And I'm sorry to say this, I'm sorry to those people that really respect Dark. Again, don't get me wrong, he's generally a nice lad, but there's cases where literally he would act like a dictator, and if you do anything aside from his thing, he'll simply just slap you in the face. Because that has happened to me, as well as multiple times. And it did get a bit annoying, so much so to the point where I literally just went, I just can't be arsed to just do this anymore. The second time this guy blocked me, after hanging out with him just for a little bit and explaining what happened between me and him, he decided to kick my ass. Not kick my ass, literally, but he decided to block me, again, for simply because of a joke. Now, I'm sorry, again, communities should never have this type of issue, where there's so much sensitivity to the point where quite literally, you just can't handle it. This is literally what happened between me and Dark and two other friends that decided to have a bit of a joke. I must add as well as, I was not technically part of this. I was just saying, oh, wouldn't it be funny if we had a little bit of a giggle over something that's happened on this particular chat on Telegram. And unfortunately, Dark took this a bit too far and decided to kick us all off. Now, again, you don't do this, especially if you're supposed to be a good friend or a good guy. To me, if you've done this to many of my friends, I'll question your flipping face. I'll question you so much to simply say, why the hell have you done this? Why the hell have you done that? Because to me, it's not worth having a stupid argument over simply because of someone had a bit of a joke. Again, this just proves my little bit of my point, saying that he can be a little bit of a dictator. Recently, we were talking about predictions over certain things that's going to happen in 2020. And literally, we had a major argument talking about what the hell is going on towards this guy's head. I must add though, again, nevertheless, again, the guy's a very nice person. He's a chilled out lad. Again, he just needs to really watch out with his attitude. Because again, being a dictator to a group of friends that are literally trying to be friendly and nice to you and all that stuff and respect you a lot, it gets kind of backwards and you realize how much shit you've actually done. But I digress. Let's go to the second story. Second story of my people that I respected a lot, but then decided to say F you. I have to cut down on my swearing a little bit because apparently I've been swearing a bit too much. I am very sorry to every 5-year-old who gets a bit sensitive. Basically, what's happened is simply this. I met a very nice YouTuber by the name of Amusement Artist. Yes, and I literally do artwork for this particular YouTuber to even prove that it's true, to a certain extent. Again, I'm an artist, so it's kind of like, what do you expect? For fuck's sake. Here it is, quite literally, right now. I respect this person so much that quite literally I've done fan art of this character. His OC, her OC I should say. And again, she's such a nice, talented individual. She has so much on her right now, such as like, she has so much potential, she has so much like opportunities right now. And even someone that's young as well, as it's amazing to see how much people have so much talent in their lifespan. Unfortunately though, it kind of ended a bit too abrupt. With no reason at all, must add, whatsoever. Let me go back towards August. This video will be coming out on September, of course. I think it's like tonight or something, I don't know. Basically, what happened, simply, into words, I was having a nice chat with with Amusement Artist, talking about some artwork and talking about our characters. All of a sudden, the next morning, I found out that she decided to block me via both my YouTube and my accounts, basically. I questioned why on earth this has happened to begin with, and I realised something's happened towards her end. Now, she did explain this about what happened between her and a friend of hers, but again, like, here's the thing. I did voice acting for her, and I'm sorry to say this, but literally, I lost my motivation pretty much immediately as this has happened, as I found out about this. Now, I know this sounds a bit childish, but put me into, like, put this into, like, certain shoes. If you've done so much for this person, and you really do care about this guy, this person, no matter if it's a guy or a girl or transgender or whoever, if you put so much respect into that person, you are expected to get a lot back. And I did get some of that back with Dark and Amusement Artist, but with Dark and Amusement Artist, what happened between these two was something that I felt like I was being used and not really been appreciated enough. Now, this has happened again multiple times during, like, college, school, fairly recently with some of my friends via Xbox and stuff. Now, again, I really do must add, I'm not trying to start drama. I don't want to have a go at these two people, because again, these two people are so damn nice to hang out with. There's just cases, however, where it's simply this. They need to kind of respect more, if you know what I mean. I've had friends in my time where they were nothing but racist dickheads, and I got respect out of them, surprisingly. And to be honest, it's the truth. It's what happened to me. Even explaining it to some of my friends, they even would say, I've been a bit of a dickhead, but I still respect you as much more than needs to. Basically, my point is in this entire video, just be careful with who you're hanging out with. Because there's times where they're going to be a bit of a dick towards you or try and block you for simply no reason. Again, amusement artist had her reason, but sometimes some reasons like that, that's not much of a good idea at all. And there's even cases as well as, well, quite literally, was hanging out with Doc, for example, and then he decides to block me because of something that I said that offended him. Again, more of a dictator. Now, I'm going to have to end this video here because I've got something very special going on for today. Now, before I actually go, I'll happily do more videos as time goes on, but I really do need to take my time on this, don't rush. Like I said, I've lost so much motivation from these two individual stories alone, and I hate myself for simply even explaining this. And unfortunately, I'm not upset or anything, I'm just trying to keep myself cool and calm. Basically, what I'm trying to say is basically just be careful who you hang out with. 2020 has been really rough towards me and everyone else that I know so far. And I'd recommend one thing. Just stay safe. Be careful of those people that you hang out with and make sure you know exactly what you're doing on the long term. Thank you very much for watching, you guys. I'll see you all later.